Ever wonder what treasures are hiding in your local thrift store? Welcome to Golden Finds. My name is Daniel and I'm all about turning the hunt into an adventure. From vintage gems to funky decor, I take you along as I dig through shelves to uncover the unexpected. If you love thrifting, estate sales, and home decorating on a thrift budget, or just love a good find, you're in the right spot. Welcome to Golden Finds, and may the thrift finds be ever in your favor. Thank you for tuning in to a new episode. Let's go ahead and begin our adventure. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Daniel here from Golden Finds, and we are back with another thrift video. This is kind of part in continuation of my thrifting in LA County, where I took you guys to a few stores in LA County near my hometown actually. And we are actually in the city of Whittier here in California, which I consider one of the worst Goodwills ever. Now, I haven't been here in maybe 2 or 3 years at the most, maybe 2. And I really consider this one to be like one of the worst. And there's many reasons why. There's just really not a lot of stuff. It's actually quite a large store. It has a donation center. It has, everything you could think of when you think of Goodwill and a thrift store. But just unfortunately, it doesn't vibe. It doesn't hit. It's not really a place that I have found a lot of good treasures. And if I have found something, it's super expensive. As you saw in the previous video that I did, all those stores. If you guys thought that Goodwill in Orange County is expensive, did you guys think that the stores in LA County were compared to Orange County? Like, I feel like Orange County is way cheaper than what LA County is selling these items for. Like, I just could not wrap myself around the fact that all these items that I was showing you guys are so expensive. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like even for some of the most smallest things in the Knickknacks section, I was like, Lord, what is going on here? And it's like, I was thinking about that while I was thrifting, thinking a lot of people have mentioned in the comments when I go to the Goodwills in Orange County that those are so expensive and pricey. But I really think that LA County Goodwills are way higher. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this location here in Whittier. I'm going to do a walkthrough and maybe I'll come back into the car and tell you guys why I really think this is the worst. Again, I'm not hoping for anything or really finding anything or buying anything, but we will see. You just never know, right? I could be totally proved wrong and maybe the store has changed, but who knows? I've been here several times, even within those 2 years, and it's just always the same. There's really not a lot of things either. But if you love thrifting, then this is the channel for you. I do welcome you guys to hit that subscribe button and join us here on our journeys through various Goodwill stores and thrift stores. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check if this is in fact one of the worst Goodwills in LA County, in my opinion. Walking into the thrift store, the very first section that I encountered was the toys and where the plushes are. Saw this Mickey Mouse made by Toy Factory, and he's dressed up as a sailor. That was $5.99. And they had quite a few little plushies here. And then right away, looking up, I saw this fake Cabbage Patch Kid or faux or some type of dupe. It was $5.99. It looks like this was probably handmade by someone. And next to it was an actual real Cabbage Patch Kid. Now you can see that this is real as it does have the signature here. That is something that will indicate that this is a real Cabbage Patch Kid. And let me know in the comments down below if you grew up with a Cabbage Patch Kid. This was $7.99, so this was a very nostalgic toy, of course, to see. And then there was some other several toys here. There was some you could get like a bulk of Barbie dolls in a container. There was this vintage Winnie the Pooh plush for $5.99. I'm not sure if this is an actual Disney licensed product or if it was maybe like another dupe of Winnie the Pooh. Then there was this Simba plush doll as well. And all of these toys right here, there was a few all around. They kind of had everything scattered on the floor. So I was a little perplexed. I was like, whoa, why hasn't someone picked this up? And look at this. This is a Fisher Price Play School. Now, this is a vintage toy. This is super cool. The clock moves. It has all the cool designs in the window. I knew that I just had to take a peek inside and see what was inside. And that little thing that I'm pressing actually rings the school bell. So that's super fun. The inside must have had maybe pieces of furniture or school desks or little dolls, but this is all that was inside. As you can see, it's just the walls, and it has like a little chalkboard and stuff, so that was cool. Then there was this M&M dispenser. This was originally $24.95 originally from M&M's World, and it's $11.99 here. I don't think it's super bad. If you are a collector of the M&M franchise, then that's definitely a really great pickup. This is a Disney Parks item. This is a collector's piece. It's supposed to be, I believe, a popcorn bucket. And this is from Disney Parks, so most likely this is from Disneyland. And this is from Mickey and Minnie's Railroad Ride. I think that's what it's called. Or Mickey, I think it's like Mickey and Minnie's Railway Adventure, something like that. It's in Toontown in Disneyland. It's a super fun ride. I've gotten the chance to ride it when we went to Disney World in Florida, and it was super fun. But the bucket unfortunately was broken, so not something I probably would pick up unless, you know, it was something really worthwhile and you won't be able to see the crack or the break. But unfortunately the hand was like completely broken, so I decided not to pick it up. Heading into the knickknacks section, I will say it was a little bit underwhelming. There really wasn't much to glance around. This almost caught my eye. This glass piece, it's supposed to be like some type of wreath. It looks very translucent, like if it was almost an ice piece. So it was really cool because it had that effect, and it almost looked like it was ice. But there was like a little bit of holiday as well right across from the aisle. The aisles are super cramped, so if you are thinking of possibly coming to this store, just be prepared because it's super difficult to maneuver through these aisles because they are really tight with each other. Saw this little small canister or jar, $5.99 for that. I will say that the pricing is a little bit high than what I'm expecting, especially since compared to the other stores that you saw in the previous video where I was thrifting in LA County. This store is also considered LA County. And again, they had a bunch of knickknacks. These were all Christmas themed. The holiday decor, unfortunately, I will say I was not really impressed by it. They really didn't have anything that I would purchase myself. This pumpkin piece was cool. You put a little tea light and display it out in your yard. But again, I just didn't really see anything worth picking up. And it almost seemed like a lot of items were mixed up with one another. There was like a bunch of items in shoe boxes, and there was like boxes and clear plastic bags full of stuff, and there was like a mix match of different items from like plastic and glass cups. Like it just didn't seem like the store was very well organized, which can be a little bit frustrating just because it makes shopping a little bit more difficult. And there was this jack-o'-lantern battery operated. This looks like it might be like a Target piece. They didn't really have much Halloween items. It was mostly Christmas knickknacks and some ceramic pieces and here and there, but it just wasn't really anything worthwhile. And you all know that I absolutely adore shopping for holiday decor, so it was a little sad that I wasn't really impressed with any of the selection here at the store. This was super cool though. This is a cookie jar. It's a bear dressed up as a ghost, and there's a pumpkin right beside him. I thought this cookie jar was super cute. It was $7.99. You will all have to let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of this thrift store? Let me know if there's anything that catches your eye. As always, I want to hear your thoughts, and let me know about the pricing as well. You've all seen videos of Orange County, and now you have seen the series of me shopping in LA County and here in Whittier, which is also LA County again, like I mentioned. Let me know in the comments down below, now that you've seen all of these videos, what did you think of the pricing and how did it compare to Orange County? This is their wall decor and home decor section, which was a little bit bare. There really wasn't as much as I expected, but there was still a lot of things to glance around. So I just wanted to give you guys a whole overview of just how the store looks. This was something that caught my eye. I love bowls like this, these wood platters. It was $7.99. Like, you could always buy a bunch of like vase filler and put things in there. You could also put like some tea lights, or just something that to fill it up with. It's a super cute idea, super easy to decorate with. This fish also was a very unique piece as well, and it was a little damaged. As you can see, there was some damage and there wasn't a price tag. I'm not quite sure if they follow the same guidelines as Orange County, where if there is no tag, then there is no sale until the next business day once the item gets re-ticketed in the back. Now this green neon piece definitely fooled me. I thought it was glass, but it's actually plastic. $7.99. It's kind of like some type of chip and bowl in a way, but it definitely had me fooled. This is a collector's plate at $7.99. That's pretty much the same across the board. Orange County also tends to price those collector plates around that same price as well. This seems to be a napkin holder and like a wall pocket of some sort. It was really cool. I love this. For summer, it would look so nice. $9.99. A little pricey, I feel, for what it is, but it's still really cool. Definitely something nice to look at for summer. You can decorate it in some way. And then I think this is supposed to be some type of condiment jar. Not too quite sure, but I thought it was super cute with a little pig dressed up like a farmer. This bunny is super fun. I love it. It looks almost like something from Threshold's collection from Target. It is a candle. There was this bowl as well with a bunny on it. Their Easter inventory wasn't as great. That item right there is from Threshold from Target. So they didn't have much, I will say, in, for Easter to decorate with. They had these little egg bowls as well. They had a snow globe. So just a very small end cap of different treasures themed out to Easter. At first I thought this was actually a bread box. It looked exactly like one at $5.99. But it's actually a bunch of Hawaii and Mardi Gras beads. So I thought that was fun. But I did wonder if this was possibly a bread box and it was maybe just, utilized for something else. Because it definitely gave off that vintage look, probably from maybe the 70s or 80s. I always love browsing at the children's books to add to my future library. If you are new to my channel, I am building a collection of storybooks for our future children. And I always like browsing because you find books at such a great deal at the thrift store. So I really recommend that you also do that if you're looking for any children's books, or if you babysit, or if you have grandchildren, or if you are a teacher. Definitely thrift for books. You will find so many amazing ones. This one was super cool. I really loved all of these different stories that you can share with your kids. Now this piece was definitely worth it. For $9.99, are you kidding me? This is like a nightstand. It's vintage, it's rough, but that gives it more character. And if they only had two. Now I didn't have a place for this, but at $9.99 it definitely hurts to see a beautiful piece like that, especially because I think it was true vintage. And at $9.89, are you kidding me? That was definitely heartbreaking. But as you can see, they really don't have a lot of bulky furniture. So if you are looking for bulky furniture, this may not be the location for you. In the kitchenware, there was a few items that I browsed through, like these collection of bowls for $9.99. And then also those white canisters right next to each other. These are actually originally from TJ Maxx, and they're selling the set. Sometimes their pricing is a little bit confusing because they bulk everything and then they put tags on all of them that have the same price. So make sure to double check. It will say 1 of 3, 1 of 4, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, and so on and so forth. So if it's a set, it will say that. It will say 1 of 2, 1 or 2 of 2, or like 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. So I know it can get a little bit confusing. So always make sure to double check. You don't want to walk away with just one piece when it actually was meant to be bulked as a price set. And there was this 40th anniversary plate. I don't know what it is about the universe, but I have been finding a lot of anniversary memorabilia. And I don't know why. but it's definitely fun finding it at the thrift store. I need to check with my parents and see how many years of marriage they have. I know that's terrible, right? You should know your parents' own anniversary. So I need to find out how many years they've been married. So maybe I can find something at the thrift store to commemorate their marriage of how many years they've been together. This pizza platter was something, you know what? I actually think about it now and I regret it because I didn't purchase it, but Joe and I love baking homemade pizzas, and that would have been a wonderful plate to bring home, and it would have been so helpful when baking a pizza. I was surprised to have found a little bit of radon. Now, there wasn't much, but it was a cookie jar. It's definitely one of the smaller versions that they have released. These glass cups also caught my eye, and these tea cups or mugs also. They're very whimsical. They're almost giving like some type of Kate Spade look, but they're actually from Department 56. And they are selling the set. I did have an oopsie. I made it fall down, tip to the side. And it was $5.99 for the set of the two mugs. And Mrs. Always Right and Mrs. Right. I would say that Joe is Mr. Right and I am the Mrs. Right. Now, this was a left-in piece, so this is a vintage piece. These are vintage ceramics from Japan. It looks like it was another anniversary commemorative piece, so that was something really nice. It would have been a beautiful gift to add with some flowers. Fighting Evil by Moonlight. Who are my Sailor Moon fans? Sailor Moon is such a classic anime. One of my favorites. Love this plush backpack. My friends, we are rounding out the end of this walkthrough at what I consider to be one of the worst Goodwills in LA County. Now, I want to hear your thoughts below. Do you agree? From what you've seen here in the walkthrough, please let me know in the comments down below, but make sure to stay until the end to see if anything made it home from the worst Goodwill store in my opinion. But as always, make sure to drop those comments down below, and if you're new to my channel, I hope that you enjoyed the walkthrough and that you will consider subscribing to my channel, which is absolutely free. But make sure to complete the video until the end to see if anything was worth picking up. How fun is this jeans pocket little purse? I definitely think that someone made this, so this was super creative and fun. Okay, you guys, we are out of that Goodwill. Well, I did not buy a single thing, and I think this video is actually going to be quite short, just because there really wasn't anything here. And it was my, one of my fears was that they just really weren't going to have a lot to offer. It's not the first time it's been like this. It's literally always like this every time I come to this specific Goodwill. And they just don't have a good assortment. And I'm sorry to say, but it's literally almost just a bunch of junk. There were some things I will say, like that furniture piece My gosh, that was super cute. That little nightstand that was $9.99. That was definitely a vintage piece. That was definitely a great price for $9.99. That's something that I definitely would have picked up, but I just don't have the space for it. I don't have a place for it, first of all. I don't even know where I would put it. It probably would have looked really cute like in the bathroom, but we absolutely like have no space to add even like a little cabinet like that. There's just no way, no room at all. I mean, maybe I would have to get rid of like my basket. I have like a big round basket next to our bathtub slash shower, and I put extra towels in there, you know, so it makes it easy for you to grab a new towel if you need one. But I would have to remove that, and I don't even have a place to put that, so I would have to find a spot for something, you know. It was not good. And I knew going into this Goodwill that it was going to be this. I knew that it wasn't going to be the greatest. I feel like some items were definitely overpriced. This is actually the first Goodwill that I feel really, really dirty after thrifting here. Again, these are all my opinions. I'm so sorry if any of you are from the city of Whittier and you adore this Goodwill. I just personally am giving my 2 cents about how I feel about it. I just feel really grungy and dirty, like touching stuff, you know, and I carry wipes and I carry hand sanitizer, but it just felt like everything was literally just dirty, like really, really dirty. And again, there was some really good things that were cool and collectible, but just overly priced for what they were. So I honestly didn't see anything worth picking up. That furniture piece definitely would have been something that I totally would have scored, you know, and brought back home. But there really wasn't anything else. There was, again, some other pieces that were like super expensive and just not worth it. So I feel that this Goodwill location, you know, again, the store shelves were not packed at the most. The ones in Orange County, I feel, which is sometimes also a drawback. Sometimes it does feel like you have too much going on in the shelves and you're not able to look at everything. But this one literally had like nothing. I feel like it had barely any items for you to purchase. And then what they did have was just really basic items. There really wasn't like anything collectible or anything like that that was like super cool, or, you know, that would have been sought after or high resale value. There was like that little Lefton 25th anniversary vase, bud vase, but other than that, there was really nothing else worth that I personally think that would be worth picking up. Another thing is that this location, it's very minimal with bulk furniture. As you guys saw, there really wasn't anything too bulky, so this probably won't be a great location if you're looking for some bulky furniture. Also, I didn't really browse the clothes. The clothes didn't really catch my attention. It just didn't seem kind of like, you know, like nothing special that I would probably even find. But they do have a majority of clothes. That's like always the main thing about Goodwill. Is like the majority of the store takes up the most room is clothing. They have shoes. They have a limited stock of like movies and like DVDs and records and other stuff like that. But I just personally did not really see anything that grabbed my attention. I didn't really have a good time, being honest with you all. I didn't really enjoy this thrift session because nothing was really worth picking up. Nothing seemed like, you know, you know, when you're a thrifter, you know when a store hits, and this store just did not hit. And then also, the store aisles are very cramped. So again, I don't, like, literally only one person can go in the aisle. If someone else comes out through the other end, you either have to go back around, or squeeze very, very tight next to each other. But other than that, like, there's really not a lot of space. I just don't know what else to say. A great place for you to drop off donations. They do have a donation center. If you want to check out the clothing, again, they do have a lot of clothing. I did not bother looking into the clothing. Usually I will. Usually I will look at clothing, but I usually only do that in the Orange County Goodwill stores. I did look at it a little bit in the other videos that I shared with you, but again, nothing really worth picking up that was too crazy. But these are just my opinions on how I feel about what I think is one of the worst Goodwills. And I'm sure there's possibly way worser ones than this one, but personally, in my opinion, from thrifting those other stores in the other video that I shared with you, even those kind of felt a little bit more better than this location. It just didn't hit it. I mean, if you guys think that there's something that actually grabbed your attention that I should have picked up, or that you would have picked up for yourself, let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear it from you guys as well. What did you guys think about this store? Let me know your opinions. Would you want to come shop here? And yeah, for me, it's a no. I'll never, ever, ever, ever come back to this location for sure. Never. But it is what it is. I will continue on with our next thrifting adventure, but I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As always, not every video is always going to be a hit, right? We're not always going to strike gold. We're not always going to find our golden finds. Sometimes that's just how it is with the game of thrifting. Some thrift stores are it and some thrift stores are not, and you have to learn that for yourself. You know, I could tell you 100 things about this location, but you need to come and experience it for yourself for you to make that determination whether or not it's for you. It might be for you, but it's definitely not for me. But I still wanted to share you this location so that way you guys can decide if you want to come here and experience it for yourself. But I will see you guys on our next thrifting adventure. This is Daniel again, coming from the worstest Goodwill, in my opinion, here in LA County. But I will see you on our next thrifting adventure, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.